Welcome, 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 welcome to our online folks. Thanks for watching tonight. We know many of y'all are big Billie Sainwood fans, so thank you for tuning in. And thank you all who are here to support her. We're really, really excited about this new book. If you have no idea what I'm talking about and you're just here to read your poetry for our open mic part, welcome. We're really glad for you to be here as well. We're going to kick off the night as we always do with our hostesses with the mostesses, Karen G and Theresa Davis. Yes. We're going to let Karen G get right into it while Theresa catches her breath from the traffic.
Train.
Yes, so much rain, so much mess.
Can't figure out weather. Can't figure out traffic. Challenged. Yes, challenges. Hi, everybody. You're beautiful. Thank you for being here. I'm so excited for Billie's book. I had the distinct honor and I have gratitude for being able to read it, and it is page to page amazing. So you're in for it tonight. You're in for good things tonight. You will want this book to pass on to your friends. I want this book so I can teach them poems in workshops. And I think Theresa will probably want to do that too. Billie will probably want to do that as well. So I'm so happy for tonight. Tonight's going to be awesome. And I love you all so much for being here. And thank you, Charis, for having us all here. My phone, my pocket did a pocket dial today to a friend who passed away at the beginning of the year. And then I started revising this poem. I've been doing a lot of mashup poems of songs with poems. So there's a little Elton John in here, Rocket Man. Pre-flight, 0 hour, 9 a.m. And I'm going to be high as a kite by then. You've somehow packed your bags and know your paths, the planes, the way they road map the skies. An Albuquerque picture during Balloon Fest shows up as I open my laptop. Hello, friend. I remember our dreams of red and silver kitchens, endless coffee, and scraps of words on pieces of paper. Rocket Man shows up on loop in my head for days. High somewhere, no pain, exploring so much space. Mars, my Aries planet, isn't hot and fiery at all. In fact, it's cold as hell. I imagine you missing Earth just a little. Cruising space with a never-ending battery life. Chair turned into space cruiser, and all the science I don't understand. Memories become a jumbled flood, non-linear as sunshine, snow, and rain. Which year was that? When did that? When did this happen? Is this real? It's lonely out in space on such a timeless flight. I resolve to keep talking to you, transmitting my own signs so you aren't as lonely, so I'm not lonely. When we become everywhere, the first days of who and what shows up in a song, a laugh, a memory, a bent straw, these are divine interventions. Even if we don't believe in interventionists, gods at all. It's going to be a long, long time. This now without a touchdown, with all of our fuses burning. That right there is for Nathan Say and my little pocket dial. This is like so Nathan, actually, my little pocket dial. I just returned to my desk with a full cup of afternoon coffee to pick me up. After the tone, leave a message. So I do. I whisper, hi, sweetheart. I miss you so much. I have coffee. It's still warm. I love you. goodbye for now. So that's my afternoon today. And then I thought of like, okay, how many books and libraries and stories do we have, and putting them together, whatever they are. It's important to put them together and print them out, and that's one of the reasons why I'm so excited that Poet Friend has a new book out. Yes. And now, Theresa Davis, who is fresh from a trip to New York City and the Poets House there. Give it up for Theresa motherfucking Davis.
Yes, New York was hot and wild, very weird. My last night, I was there for the New York Poetry Festival, and I had this whack app, and I left 3 hours early to arrive 20 minutes late. And I was like sweating like crazy, and I just got on the ferry. I don't even know if I'm in the right place. I was just like frazzled. I find a spot. I put my bag down, and they're like, "Are you ready to go?" And I'm like, "Why the fuck not?" So I did that. But my publisher, Sibling Rivalry Press, we had our poet reunion, and so there was about 35 poets that showed up. And when I tell you, it was something beautiful about being in the Poet House, in a room with a press who only publishes queer writers. So it was so gay, and I was so happy. But a Sibling Rivalry Press he wanted to stay small, and he started getting big, and so he decided to pull back. But he let me know he gonna keep the door open a crack for this next collection that I've got coming through, maybe. But my love for Brian Borland is monumental. He came at a point in my life where I was being bombarded by academic poets who basically said what I did wasn't art and wasn't poetry. And so he came into my life where it's like, okay, does my voice have a space or a place with what I do? And just kind of opened that door and was like, absolutely, right here, ma'am. And I love that. So I'm gonna read a couple of things. I've been working on this poem for a minute. So my new collection, which was supposed to come out in 2020, I'm shooting for the end of this year. And it's called Dirt. And this is, I'm going to say the word wrong. So I'm a word nerd, and I love word of the day because some of those words are so trippy. And so this word is Macedoni. I'm saying it wrong, I know. But the definition is a mixture of fruit or vegetables often served as salads. So I have a series of poems that start with she said, or she says. She says, I have never liked the phrase melting pot. It blurs our truths, diminishes our authenticity. It reduces us to mush, the same, all vibrancy lost, our essence leaked out. We are more like a salad, don't you think? Keeping our identity, our color, our flavor. She smiles, and I can see the kumbaya in her eyes. We are all different, but the same food similes. How can I argue with healthier options? Here's how. I say, right up until some colonizer pours fucking balsamic vinaigrette on everybody, and who the hell wants to taste like that forever? She says, so, you chose violence today. It must be Tuesday. That's that one. So this is called the content. This is a prompt from Mr. Fun. So I still host Java Speaks, which used to be Java Monkey, virtually every Sunday night, except last Sunday because I was sweating my ass off in Texas. I mean, where was I? New York. Not Texas, because it's even hotter there. And this is the contradiction of wind, when, and when. I was standing on my morals, the authenticity. Ugh. I know, the authenticity of gratitude or potential failure, a shaky place on a Thursday, when the wind blows so hard it shakes my foundations, threatens to make my truths un. The dirt beneath my feet churns a grave of what is lost, could be lost, in a fast forward motion of forgetting what I already knew. A breath. I root myself, try to touch the parts I shelter in place so many years ago, the moment I realized that time, while real, rarely changes. It is dark. It is a dark, dank place, resisting sunshine and latchkey miracles. My pause, my deep breath nearly chokes me. Winning, not my only goal here. Brain foggy, I succumb to clouds, muddy in more ways than one. I windshield wiper on high, head for home, even as I emotionally check out while checking into a place buried so deep, the ghost of it frightens me. It is a strange but familiar space. Voices echo off the walls, and I do not recognize my voice here, the one I've owned my whole life. I look at my feet, make sure they are still there. Rainbow colored sneakers covered in mud. It is a sad, familiar reality. Closets come in all sizes and circumstances. It's all about perception, the way the wind blows clouds to other destinations. When you think the ground wants to claim you without the decency of an explanation, shoes can be clean, washed free from the dirt, charting timelines, and I wonder sometimes if full eyes cleanse, if full hearts break, does anyone win in the end? Okay, that was a little darker than I thought it was when I wrote it. Thank you all for listening to that. So yay. All right. Close all the things. We are going to get started, and our first sign up is B, and you need a seat, yes? Okay, I remember. Y'all give it up for B.
Today I have 3 poems and 1 song. They're here in my notes app, so I'm gonna open that up real quick. It's chill. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So this first one I have, I don't know why, but lately I've been thinking a lot about Toddlers and Tiaras. If anybody knows that show that used to be on TLC, this is what I feel like would be the dialogue between the mother and the child behind cameras. I just thought it was, yeah. It's called Perfect Pageant Princess. You are a perfect pageant princess. You float and hover above the ground. Even walking in those painful heels, you don't wince. You don't make a sound. Hold your head up, shoulders back. Your chin is firm and still. Still a human though. You can laugh, but but no chuckles. Only light, soft giggles can escape your glossy lips. I know you like to play in your hair and touch all over your glittery dress, but no, no, no. Fidgeting is not becoming of a lady, okay? So shove those things deep down inside you. Be careful not to smile too much. You'll get laugh lines. You don't want laugh lines. Don't crinkle your eyes. You'll get crow's feet. And don't forget to hold your feet in place when they call up the winner. I don't want any wobbling, no tilting, nothing. Absolutely still, absolute perfection. Because you're what? Yes, a perfect pageant princess. That's it. And this one is called Nature's Alchemist. Tiny, unnoticeable worker baby bee, no power of my own, just my worker baby wings. I use them to fly with the masses, blending in to the best of my ability. I live for my queen. She is my livelihood, worth the air I breathe. But what about worker baby bee? Am I not worth all the honey in the hive, all the air in my lungs? My wings, small and battered with holes and scars, they took me to the most unimaginable places. I use these same wings to carry to and fro the substance of life, pollen. This pollen is my hope, my dreams, my aspirations in life. I carried them through all the most painful memories, the most dizzying of heights. It stuck to me still, sweet and untainted. Only with this golden dust was I able to breathe life into my future. Using pure energy, my wishes and love, I created something. Not just worker baby bee. Call me nature's alchemist. I brought to life all that you see before you, these hive walls, the honey that keeps us alive. I did that. Me. Transmutating and creating from almost nothing, no longer tiny, unnoticeable worker baby bee. I may not be the queen, but I can bring so much more to life than just my dreams. And this is my last one. I think I wrote this literally yesterday. I was, yeah. It's called We Are the Music. The music isn't in me. I am the music. I and him, she and me, they twist and twine around my spine. I say they because music isn't one thing, no. They are an entity of many. It can't just be one thing floating and fleeting in my mind. They consist of rhythm, sound, beat, and melody, all these things colliding and combining into each other, and they dance with me. It's miraculous. The feeling is contagious, and you're catching it. Can't you see? The music isn't in the air, it is the air we breathe. It's cleansing and rinsing the atmosphere as we sing. It's yielding the negativity around us and shielding our hearts from the darkness. It shines with the color of our souls and thrums in time with the energy of our auras. Can't you feel it? We are the music, a song signaling our beautiful nature, a rapture of love and light pouring from all at once. We are the music. Can't you feel it? Did I just move this out the way? Sorry. I'm just gonna put this over here. All right, thank you. And then thank you. Okay, this is a song from one of my favorite movies, possibly. It's from Hoodwinked. And I'm gonna be singing Red is Blue. Everything's changing. Looking for the cure. And it feels like you're the loneliest girl in the world. Troubles in your head now, don't know what to do, and it feels like up is down and red is blue. Red is blue. Red is blue. Remember when we started, days when all was fun, all that we could make when life was young. Now you're getting older and nothing feels the same. You can't even make sense of your own name, because red is blue. Doesn't make much sense, but red is blue. Listen with your head now. Red is blue. Oh, 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 no. Oh, oh. Na, 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 na. Da, 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 da. Ooh, ba, 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 ba. Bye 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 bye. Da 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 da. In your heart, there's a room where you walk away all the time and the things that she said. And now red is blue. What was near is falling. Now red is blue, like a falling star. Now red is blue. Oh, 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 oh.
Second person who signed up, Lillian Win, maybe Win. Oh, of course. Hi, hello. Please welcome up to the mic, Win. Sorry, that was like, I'm like, oh.
I want to apologize for the general dishevelment. It rained exclusively for the last half of my walk here. After it was too late to go back, and then stopped 5 minutes after I got here. So I don't know who I pissed off, but we're even now. The first one I have is still kind of in a draft, but I'm still kicking it around. I just wanted to share it. I recently I did feel like queer hair is like a big point of contention a lot, especially if you go to a regular hairdresser. I did that once after I cut off all my hair, never again. And so the next time I decided it was better to meet up with a stranger from the internet to do it. And that ended up being correct. So. But this is just a poem about that experience. Right now it's just called Butch for Butch Haircut. Let me make sure this is the right draft because I have like 5. Yes. Okay. When I pull up to your house, you are picking mulberries in the front yard and offer me one. My first thought is that it is ugly, black and shriveled like something meant to be cut from the body and not spoken of again. My second thought is that it is sweet. In your worn-out bathroom, tender hands ghost over where I couldn't get short enough on my own, like examining a wound before wrapping. I flinch hard at the buzzsaw motor of well-loved clippers, certain that to be what we are is something that must be endured. You show me gentle, placing your palm against the guard, yourself in the line of fire. As it happens, we talk. I am reminded that the last time I spoke more than 3 sentences to my mother, she thought I was drunk, talking too much about things she didn't want to understand. But we trade stories like old friends, and we are. Though we met today and may never speak again, there is blood between us, spilled, sacred, shared. When it is finished and we are both still, breathing, I look in the mirror and see you, I see myself. There is nothing ugly in our reflection, but still it is sweet. This second one, I had to go to Texas for a work trip, and I also have an ex that lives in Texas, and then I had a delayed flight, and hopefully they stay there. But my flight was delayed, and this was born out of those 3 things, and it's called Lone Star. On the first page. At the Texas airport, somebody plays gospel without headphones. As I practice my glazed stare across the tarmac, there's a beauty I didn't expect in the flat grasslands, the wide open sky. Hardy orange wildflowers staggering upright through the wind, refusing the path of least resistance. I am reminded that Texas was our home base to reach the stars. I used to say I'd build a spaceship too, if that's what it took to get away. Don't worry, Texas hates me as much as you. The cab driver said nothing to me on our way to the Dyke Bar. Did you know you had a Dyke Bar? We just turned up the Christian radio. Men stared me down in the hotel elevator, and I'm pretty sure your governor wants my head on a stick. 3 days, a work meeting, I'm gone, and Texas is yours again. I wanted to hate this place, wanted to never again share even a state line with you, even one as big as Texas. Still, I understand your wildness better now, that mean streak in you, and Texas makes me understand how I loved you anyway. Your brutal heart, your wide open heavens that live up to their name, explain to me God's wrath and glory. I think if I lived in Texas, I'd believe in something too, even if only that great big sky, enough to find a way to reach it. Maybe that's why they chose Texas for liftoff. Here, there is enough bitterness to leave the world behind. But here, there is that wildness, that contradiction, the human need to find brutality and barrenness and make a home in them. I see in Texas what I couldn't escape in you, and see why even the astronauts would have to come back.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Next to the mic is Ariande. I said it right. I didn't say it right. Close. Correct me. I like being corrected. Ariande. Ariande. Come to the mic. like the. Okay. Come on down. You're taller. You need this.
Thank you. I'm actually going to hold the mic. Yeah. Thank you, because I'm gonna sit down. Hello, everyone. This is my first time ever reading at an open mic. Yeah. I'm gonna see if I'm not gonna need this. Hopefully I'm not, but I want to play it safe because it is a lengthy poem and it's gonna be right at the time limit, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. It's not as long as the title, which is 15 minutes. I'm always late to first dates. For most engagements, I'm right on time, but I'm always 15 minutes late for first dates. I don't mean to. I'd feel stood up. Somehow my date never does, and I always feel stood up later, long after dates stop being dates and start becoming weeks spent together. Long after the point of no heartbreak, when the ring of the outgoing phone line rattles as frantically as the hand holding it. The phone screen is salted from the stress sweats. No answer. Is 15 minutes long enough before I try again? Purgatory must only be 15 minutes long. I have the rhythm of their voicemail locked like an arcade prodigy, playing to perfection for that unreachable grand prize. I'm holding a bag of tickets, and I'm calling to cash out. There's no one at the counter, just waiting for them to get back. Looking at all the treasures I could enjoy if only they would come back. I guess I can wait. He must be on a break. How long do you think that is? About 15 minutes? I guess I can count my tickets in the meantime. Think about all the fun I had getting them. Might close before they get back. I guess I could just go and try again another time, right? Nobody even really does that, though. They always hold on to the tickets for way too long, fully convinced they're going to cash those tickets someday. And someday must be the day that comes after purgatory, because I'll be in heaven or hell by the time this 15 minutes ends. That's it, isn't it? That's it, isn't it? 15 minutes ends. I call again. No answer. Again. And it resets. It sounds like purgatory to me. I'm not going to see that someday, am I? Neither of those tickets. A whole new, better developed person is going to accept the truth, reach into the back of that closet and understand that those tickets were never getting cashed. And out they go, as worthless as they were in the first 15 minutes. This new person can handle it. Still, it's a lot harder when you're at the prize counter alone. All those hopes and dreams and tickets still held tightly. Not this new you, right? You learned how to let go. And as time keeps going, it seems to be the only lesson we keep learning. Is that the lesson in purgatory? Do you just keep learning it every 15 minutes? Has it been 15 minutes yet? What if there is a someday I could cash out the tickets? And then I wouldn't want to just toss them, right? What if that's the game I've been playing? I should keep waiting. Just gets so exhausting thinking about the tickets every day, every 15 minutes. Are the prizes even going to be the same by the time I get there? What if I don't like them anymore? What if they're even better prizes? What if they're better prizes and it costs more tickets and I don't have enough? What if they don't even take old tickets? They have new ones or something. Maybe I should just throw the tickets away. I don't think I could take starting over again. I've had a lot of fun getting the tickets, but I don't know if I can take you not being at the prize counter again. It all just makes me wonder if there was ever a winnable prize or if that was just part of the con to get me to play the game. I guess I can try again and just enjoy the games, not count the tickets. But I only have so many quarters, and I need something to bring home, something to be more than just fun for a day, to let me know it was worth it, that it meant something. Has it been 15 minutes yet? That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. First timer, I kind of don't believe it. That was awesome. That was really great. Thank you. And thank you for coming home here. Give them another round of applause there. That's awesome. I actually, that was, I could visualize that with props, like with raffle tickets. And then, is this the right number? Is this the right? Yeah, that was really good. Thank you so much. Next on the list, we have June. June, are you ready? Yes. Oh, June, of course. Hi, June. Right Club, punk rocker, amazing person, human, and I love you so fucking much. I'm already gonna say, if you're not following already, please follow June. Their music, their writing, they're amazing. I love them.
I'm gonna stand. I'll stand. Thank you for hyping me up way too much. This is only going to disappoint. Okay. I'm just gonna do one song. This is called Marathon Days. Billy, if you need to go to the bathroom or anything, you've heard this one already. Okay. These marathon days start off so cold, losing our breath just to do as we're told. Hands in the sky, head in the ground. Everyone talking, not speaking out loud. Ooh, he answered to roar of the crowd or the edge of the blade. Ooh, he answered to roar of the crowd or the edge of the blade. Looking like kids to my brother, practice his scales, smell of disinfectant still hung in the air, spoke through the door, arms length apart, told you I loved you and fucking left you there. Who he answered to, roar of the crowd or the edge of the blade. Ooh, he answered to roar of the crowd or the edge of the blade. We could go on as if nothing were wrong. Hide from these days we remained all alone. Shelter in place, play out the time, touching from a distance, further all the time. Ooh, he answered to the roar of the crowd or the edge of the blade. Ooh, he answered to the roar of the crowd or the edge of the blade. Oh, he answered to the roar of the crowd or the guillotine's blade. Oh, he answered to roar of the crowd or the guillotine blade.
Thanks so much. So I know we've like messed up the whole set here. Are we still in the camera, people on the world and the webs? Because we were like, y'all here, but are you really? I'm just kidding. You're here. Okay. Teddy, you're next on the mic. Give it up for Teddy, y'all. What?
Hey, what's up, y'all? So I got a few for y'all tonight, a couple of short ones, a longer one. So, yeah. First one's called Chapped Souls. I met you in a dream called the stars. A roof in your lips and the threat of rain in our hair inspired chapped souls to kiss. Dryly, our lives intertwined. So that's the first little one. This one's called Hold Me. A delicate hand of cloth slowly runs over my ankles and feet, washing the mosquito bites I know I should not scratch. They become the bloody and pus-ridden scabs that now cover me. The hands are still there. I know holding hands. Holding. Hold me. Gently if possible, tightly if not. Wind blowing through us, scattering souls. Hold me. Passionate and violent, prune our weeds so we may resurrect the fruit we once produced. Hold me. Eternally, through the stars and through the dust. From the dawn to the dusk, and the times we cannot speak, and the times you are not here, hold me. And know I will always be holding you. So I didn't really have a good title for this one, but my friend suggested Horny for Myself. So that is the name of this poem. In the times I sit in the corner while my friends flirt with the random weeds that grow through the cracks of the cement-floored bar, I find comfort in the 90s synth, in the off-key voice coming from the karaoke machine, in the Heath bar from Valero that I skipped and twirled to across the street, in the knowledge that in 5 minutes, I will be getting on stage with my friends to sing slightly more in key. And after I return to my page, my sanctuary, I go to sit and contemplate how the music alcohol mixed potion helps me forget my body, my fears, also the fulfillment I find in facing them. My drink stares at me, soulful, brown eyes clouded red, punishing, walking me through life hidden, hateful towards the world, because I wasn't born with what I need to love myself. The painted wall in front of me reminds me of a phoenix, a creature that can recreate itself. My friend chose this as their name, and I think I understand why now. Looking at this dark orange line with fire trailing behind it, setting ablaze the barren skyline, I want to be fire. Even for one night, 1 minute, 1 moment, I want to be fire. I want to be wild. I want the beat to take over my body, my hips to sway, beginning to move my neck, my shoulders, my arms, for all the power and love in my loins to intertwine, all the power and love in my loins to move my body, for the sensuality of the music to intertwine bodily desire with myself, the body that I walk past in the mirror and my mind dissociates so it does not have to face the pain. That's the body I want sensually. Godly desire flowing through my veins. Holy desire baptizing me in pulsing pressure of gold and green disco light. Every beat, I can feel the hearts of the 100 other people loving themselves, searching for the same fulfillment they cannot find walking down the street or into an office or at home. A fulfillment by loving, desiring the insecurities you cannot anywhere else. People have been hitting on me a lot recently, and I don't know how to flirt with them. Or I don't even realize it is happening and my friends have to tell me. Or I realize when I am driving away from the thrift store and I bang my head on the horn because they were NB and tattooed with a septum piercing. Or I do notice I just shut them down. I think it's because of the sensuality. I think it's because I'm so horny for myself, but I can't figure out how in the right way where my desire doesn't feel like shame. My sensuality doesn't feel het, where I actually fucking love myself. I'm not letting anyone do it until I can. Thank you.
I like how music is happening all over the words and the guitars and the mics tonight. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Teddy. That was phenomenal. And next on the list we have Tia. Hi. Hi.
All right. Unlike my contemporaries, I do not have instrumental accompaniment, so I'm just going to wing it, like I generally do. This is a song called Wolves. It's half and half about the approaching prospect of fascism and about the approaching prospect of one of your friends maybe liking you. And but deep in your stomach, there's a pit that knows that she's going to vanish in about 2.5 weeks, and then you're never going to hear from her again. Actually, I didn't know that when I wrote the song, so it kind of took on a whole new meaning. So here it is. All right, give me a second. We're all stuck in a makeshift hell, I know. I'm thinking heaven is patience, love, and hope. But I'm stuck on the day shift, never really made shit, never really thought I'd have no home. Till you looked in my eyes and you stare right through my soul. I've been sleeping in the daytime, fucking with my baseline, trying to stay alive in a world so cold. Now I'm living in a system, spirits bought and sold. And I can feel the wolves, they're coming, stuck inside this loop I'm running. Can we turn this around? And I can feel the wolves, they're here, we're cruising with no power steering. Can we turn this around? 7:47 in the nighttime, fly high, did it all alone on my own, no cosign. People throwing stones from my phone, get some daylight. Maddie by my side, come alive when the bass tight. She's so pretty, I'm afraid I'm way too shy. I can feel my heart race, close my eyes. We're all stuck in a makeshift hell, I know. but I think I found a way out of all this smoke. When I look into your brown eyes, I feel hope. When I hear your sounds, no, I'm not alone. And I can feel the wolves that come and stuck inside this loop I'm running. Can we turn this around? And I can feel the wolves are here. We're cruising with no power steering. Can we turn this around? Well, I can feel the wolves that come and stuck inside this loop I'm running. Ay, oh no, oh, I can feel the wolves are here. We're cruising with no power steering. Ay, oh no, hey, 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 hey. We're all stuck in a makeshift hell, I know.
All right. That was our last reader. No. Zoe? Am I saying it right, Zoe? Yes. Zoe! To the mic. Come on down.
Hi, I'm Zoe. Hi, Layla. Really grateful to be here. Billy, I got your book in the mail. Really, really excited. Okay. Here we go. This is about my little cousin. Take a porcelain fairy from the root of a tree and carry her body through smoky patriot rain. Light as a bullet grazes eye to ear to vein. A febrile spin makes the Walmart music box play Ecocide Swan Lake. White ballerinas in the same blue song about the red of heartbreak. 1 foot in the toilet stirs a potion to clean the soot of grief unseen. On the porch swing, soul bottom drags flightless paths of her lone wing. All right, this one is about the water mains breaking in Atlanta. It's a song. Okay. Nobody above the law, unless a body call while flying safe in a murder. Power to black-winged flock, mobbing out a lone hawk in nature's heavenly order. Old Testament God alone bless our bread and first stone thrown at Black Hawk helicopters. For every matter of time and every migrant's crime under heaven is on borders. Mayor, let my people go one lado al otro, someday we all must cross over. As divine rod parts the sea, a city artery splits justice arm and shoulder. Plant the prized rock of the crows, may buried bodies sow the treasure that is worth far more. Strike the rock and out will rise, geyser fount to the skies, blooming Godhead in the downpour. Golden hour of the flood, freeing the murder's blood, plague the pipes laid below law's floor. Yay.
Okay, it looks like we have one more reader before our fabulous feature. V. Yes. Hello, V.
I've got 2 poems today. The theme of my life lately has been realizing that I'm still like mad as hell about things that happened 5 years ago. So that's kind of where I'm at today. So this one is called Splitting Image, or Shrapnel of a Decimated Thruple. Curling my fingers into yielding flesh, soft meadow grasses that wash her out in Kentucky blue. The world is a shimmering place, on the other side is 7 bush lights, dazzling my senses, blurring her wild dark hair with the greasy sky over the river. He wants to know if I think it'll always be this way. I don't, and it isn't. and it wasn't. And it's daylight now in a different part of the Deep South, and she never made it out of that apartment on 15th Street. She wears my clothes and sleeps in my bed, strokes and polishes the pieces of me that she interred in herself. My arms still know the feather weight of her from the night I carried her, limp and soaked in vomit, down 3 flights of stairs. She only ever kissed me when he was watching. I worshipped her. She sold me out for a warm place to sleep. She was the sun in my eyes. I was a convenient pet to keep around. I hate her so much it spills over sometimes. It melts deep gashes into the carpet around my feet. I wonder if he treats her like he treated me. And I wonder if she'd give me a call if he did. And I wonder if I wouldn't come running and carry her down those stairs too. Thank you. Thank you. Hopefully this one's a little more fun than that. This one's called The Things You'll Do for a Pat on the Head. Jaws clamped tight around a wound as old as the 3rd grade. Every pretty girl's favorite lapdog, absolutely debasing yourself for a scratch behind the ears. Bambi, lover boy, little bit, wide-eyed and desperate to please. You're taken about as serious as one silver hair on an old rat's ass, and you suppose that's all right sometimes. If everybody thinks you're a joke, you're never not funny, you know. Still, you find it hard to respect yourself. Everybody calls you big dog, killer, tiger, and it's terribly patronizing, but you lick it off the roof of your mouth with a sickening fervor, smack your lips until the last trace vanishes. Oh, it does eat you sometimes, gnaws on the tip of your wagging tongue. You flash your teeth when you've had enough. Oh, you hot-blooded thing, you seething little beast, simmer down now. There's plenty for everybody. So you sulk in a corner till the next time she calls you to her feet, and you fling yourself down, roll over happily. She wants a big woof, and you give her one. God, you're a sick fuck. You don't mind only being a conversation piece, because at least you're a piece at all, right? So you lie and wait by the door like a fool for your daily acknowledgement. You shoulder a little teasing, a bit meaner than you think you deserve, tail smacking the floor hard, all the same. They always look so pleased when they knock you down of Heger 3. At night you float through endless space, peering through the windows into personhood from the outside. It looks shiny, inviting, but the glass is cold on your wet little nose. She calls your name from the doorway. You go to her, and you sink dutifully to your knees. Thank you. Thank you.
Yay! I get to do the thing. Yes. New books are my favorite thing. And I love that when we have so many books that come out now, so many different sizes. And it's just awesome. Like years ago, we did this little haiku book. I think you're in there with me, and it's like this big. And it's awesome. But like, this is awesome. I love the shape of this. This is called What Was Eaten Was Given by Billie, who's in the house. And you should buy the book because it is also in the house. I'm going to read the bio in the book. Billie is a poet and writer from Atlanta. Her work has been featured in the Passion Fruit Review, Don't Submit magazine. Okay, I said don't submit, but they want you to submit. Don't Submit magazine and the No Sleep podcast. She keeps a diary of her inspiration and neuroses online at billywritespoems.com. Coming to the mic, new book in hand, Billie.
Hello. Okay. We will figure this out together. Okay, so the book is actually a collection of poems and essays. The reason they're essays is because I like to drown people in context. I do not believe in presenting art without context. Like, anyway. So I wrote an essay for this, and I'm going to read it. It's not in the book, but we're going to have fun. So this is from my blog, and it is called "Oh No, She's Writing About Haunted Houses Again." This is the third summer back home, and I am staggered by the joy of being swallowed in heat. To exist in the heat requires resilience and a willingness to expose the flesh. It locks you into the body with every step on the heat-rippled sidewalk. New York was hot, but was never Atlanta. When I sweat through my sunscreen and stumble back home to my air-conditioned apartment, I know I am where I belong. I know that every drop of sweat I left on the sidewalk is a benediction of salt I offer my city. It wasn't mine, not really. The salt in my body always belonged here. I've been thinking a lot about belonging lately, about community and language and the choirs we preach to, not to convert, but to hear the choir lift up its voice in return. Being back in the South is a gospel song. The trees are flaying themselves alive with the songs of cicadas. I have talked elsewhere about my qualms of publishing a book. I was worried about returning to the frantic and thin feeling of needing others' approval when I write. I was worried about losing the healing confidence and sense of self that propelled me to write again after my 8-year hiatus. I was worried about drifting, rudderless, a ghost in search of a house to haunt, of a place to belong. This month, right now, I have been invited to give a reading to celebrate my debut collection of poems at my favorite bookstore, Charis Books. I still remember being a closeted teenager in the back of the room at Charis and being almost too preoccupied with whether or not I belonged in a place so aggressively feminist that I almost didn't hear the poets and singers of the monthly open mics. I think, even though Charis was always welcoming, I could still feel the chitinous scratching of my own discomfort at being a boy, terrified of their own inevitable femininity I always felt at arm's length. I've made the drive from New York to Atlanta countless times. The last time I drove it, though, and watched one of the most iconic skylines vanish behind me into an unraveling landscape of asphalt and sunlight and billboards that still believe in God, it felt like Odysseus. It felt like I had been through so much, returning to a familiar place with a strange new face. After renting apartments in Jersey and Queens and moving back briefly for a week and with no set address beyond a few weeks, it still felt like coming home. Like crossing over New York, for all its charms and all the sincerely happy moments with my ex-wife, never felt like that. I never felt home in my body. In Mick Flanagan's phenomenal series, The Haunting of Hill House, based on Shirley Jackson's phenomenal novel of the same name, the matriarch of the doomed Crane family explains to her daughter that a house is like a person's body. The walls are like bones. The pipes are veins. It needs to breathe, it needs light and flow, and it all works together to keep us safe and healthy inside. The wickedness and neglect and petty resentments and unsettled spirits of the house are what made it lonely, made it hungry, made it sick. It was as much haunted by its living occupants than by its host of ghosts. Perhaps that's why New York felt so alien. The house was unfinished. I wasn't home in my bones. Felt the disrepair and garish incompleteness of my skin. Even with the first clumsy attempts at remodeling with wigs and skirts on Amazon, I could still feel the sun coming through the windows of the house. Could still feel air flowing and my bones shaking themselves dustless and new. I could live here. In this body that was no longer a tomb, I was no longer buried alive. I was living. A quote I can't for the life of me attribute, but has always stuck with me is, "What is home if not the last place they find you?" I've been approaching life and belonging that way ever since. The city, the hearts of lovers, the art, and the body I am found in must be a home. Even after I have left it cold and vacant as a winter pool, I've been thinking a lot about death lately, and bodies, and what we do to them to live. Perhaps it is the constant drumming of panic about hormones from right-wing politicians. There is a concerted effort to take away the things that make me feel human, that quiet the ghosts of my house, that make my skin something to live in. Whenever I read about a new proposed bill or a new court decision about HRT, I can feel the ghosts of my body grow restless. In Jean Cocteau's 1946 adaptation of Beauty and the Beast, stick with me, The magic of the witch's curse in the castle manifests as an uncanny humanness to the house. Arms hold up candelabra, fireplaces have faces, the house turns its attention to the new woman walking its halls. Even amongst the joy of first taking hormones, I could feel the tension that this could all be taken away, that it couldn't be this simple. I felt my body watching the strange new ingenue making a home in it. The hope so bright and splendid that it was almost painful to hold like a tungsten light. It burned to have the hope of being beautiful inside me, to feel it becoming real, and then once it was real, become threatened. It's part of why I wrote this book. To chronicle and make concrete this dream of this body, I want to feel the tangible story of my splitting skin, my unhaunted house, even in the event of its being torn down. Cocteau's movie, The Haunting of Hill House, these stories of ghosts and houses and hope always feel like dreams. I can't afford to be a dream anymore. I am skin. I am blood, I am fat, I am nerves, I am bones, I am tits, I am words, typeset and pounded into paper, I am vibrations in the air, I am a book now. I am bound here. This reading is a celebration of that good bondage. I am home in Atlanta, in my skin, in my lover's hearts, I am something new. And my sun-kissed doors are wide open to guests. My lights are on, my ghosts are quiet. If they take the hormones that gave this body away, I will be vengeful and haunted again, but I will be eternal. I will be eternal. I will be home in the last place they find me, the body of a woman. Okay. I don't have a ton of time. I appreciate you all being so affirming. I only get one of these, and it's mine. All right. So, like a lot of people, I kind of made the decision to transition after COVID, because sitting at home alone with your thoughts in 2020 was like, oh, you're gonna die. Well, it's like, I'm not gonna die like that. So this is as much a book about COVID as it is about transness. This is a COVID poem. This is called PPE. When the virus hit, I went online and bought gloves, masks, soap, sanitizers, wigs, skirts, and a spandex catsuit. Looped around my ears, the surgical mask covered my jawline, blue tarped over the natural disaster of stubble. Pressed against my nose, it trapped my breath against me, soaked me in the reminder of my stubbornly working lungs. Watching people in hazmat suits on TV with face shields, I marveled at their bodies. Draped in antiseptic modesty, they could be anyone under there. Whew. We're having fun. We're having fun. We're reading about stuff. This is when I can find it. Here we go. I swear to goodness. I put so many tabs on this thing. This is, we're not in Kansas anymore. We're in Ulta. This is based on a true story. At the makeup counter, they ask me if I need help with anything. I look to tell the non-binary angel with winged eyeliner and a name tag that literally says angel, they, them. I want to tell them yes. I want to tell them that the Cairn Terrier of my body has left the basket on my bike and become something hungry enough to bite ankles. I want to tell them that I'm a crowded movie theater and there's a fire starting and the only way out is through the screen, but they did not ask for that. So I hold up my picture of Judy Garland, of Dorothy, of my Kansas girl in color. Help me look like her. Transition is living in a house on the wind and spinning. I have been spinning since last spring. Judy landed on her feet and started to dance. God, do I want to dance. Angel, help me put color on my black and white cheeks. Help me make a musical that shocks the world. Help me go on a journey with misfits who are missing something. Angel, I feel like I'm missing something. Help me melt the witches who tell me I don't belong here. Angel, I'm looking for a wizard to give my friends and I the parts of ourselves we don't have yet. Angel, the TV tells me to just be like Judy and take the pills all at once. Go to sleep and wake up a boy in a suit surrounded by family. Angel, is Judy Garland back there? I just want to talk, and then I'm gone. The wind's picking up. My ride's here. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of transformations because, like, I left New York after living there for like 8 years. I transitioned and I got divorced all in the same week. So there's like a whole bunch of stuff. So this is We're Fine. I love my ex-wife. She's great. This is Villanelle from a trans woman to her ex-wife's new baby. Look to this woman and feel blessed. Your mother is a wind, a bellowing welcome. When you meet her, you will know. Even as we parted and as I transitioned, she was patient. She held me in front of a mirror and said, look to this woman and feel blessed. Your world, little one, will be made of purring lions, of protective teeth and soft fur. When you meet her, you will know, no matter what, she is gentle. Her every step will be a sunny shadow of your own. Look to this woman and feel blessed. When I think of the woman who most of all I want to snow angel my shape to, when you meet her, you will know. Your mother, little one, taught me to love, taught me to write, to fight, to cry, to build. Look to this woman and feel blessed. When you meet her, you will know. Okay, so fun. So this book is divided into 3 sections. First part is like faith and becoming. Second part is violence, and the third part is like crushes and love and stuff. So now we're deep in the second part. So this is Sestina for the trans woman watching Silence of the Lambs. We are still holding hands in the coiled dark and waiting to take a breath, holding it hostage in our mouths, letting it fidget against our blood. She turns and smiles. The flickering screen lights our smiles. I kiss both of her hands and apologize for all the blood in the basement and the dark, and she shuts both of our mouths. She doesn't mind. We are meat and breath. After credits, the bedroom holds its breath. It rumbles to swallow our smiles in a dark as warm as our mouths. There's violent beauty in our hands, and we can only show in the dark. I am a wound. She forgives me my blood. Our lips are harloted in blood. There is giddy murder in our breath. We are night vision goggled in the dark. We are photographing our smiles. She puts her soft life in my hands, and a cloud of new moths swarm our mouths. We make little sounds with our mouths and wear each other's skin slick with blood, our misunderstood seamstress's hands. This hurt comes as natural as breath. The FBI crimes of our smiles smudge our fingerprints inked in the dark. We can be who we want in the dark. Buffalo Bill, our tight-lipped smiles. We are women lost in our with tight-lipped mouths. We are women lost in our smiles that flutter like moths made of blood. The night has been holding its breath, waiting to see what we do with our hands. She smiles at me in the dark. Our hands reaching out like carnivorous mouths. We are women made of blood and held breath. Like I said in the opening essay, there's been a lot of talk about like HRT and rights and stuff. And so I went down to the Capitol last year to try to like stop them from doing that, and they didn't listen. But I went with a bunch of trans people, and more than anything else, just seeing like solidarity around like there's a whole community that doesn't want this to happen and will stop at any cost to like do that. And so I wrote this poem for a friend of mine, and this is Knitting in the Capitol. Above the Senate floor, Lucas reaches into his bag and pulls out needle and yarn and starts to knit while we wait to hear if our rights will survive the night. His hands move on their own. His eyes stay on the 56 people below, on their hands that pass and fidget and scrabble and drum like bored children in church. We all just want this to be over in our own little ways. The largest piece of community folk art is the Names Project AIDS memorial quilt. The quilt commemorates 125,000 people who died from AIDS. It started as a way to make the loss of just 1,000 people in San Francisco feel real, to feel solid and somber. Each panel was the size of a grave. It now weighs 54 tons. One of the most effective ways to take hormones is with a needle. Lucas knows this and still knits with the full weight of this legacy in his lap. He is making a scarf. He talks to senators. He talks to news stations. He takes the sewing in and out of his bag for each vote. He calls out to each senator. He asks them, begs them not to pass this bill that would make Georgia a place for trans kids to grow up and get out of on their way to New York or Vermont or Colorado or Connecticut or Illinois or Maryland or Massachusetts or Minnesota or New Jersey or New Mexico or Washington or Oregon or nowhere. The senators shake his hand and send him back up to the lobby, to the stairs, to the balcony, to his knitting and his nerves. He is working little by little to make something soft, to make something that will last, that will wrap around a throat and fit snugly, or, against all odds, keep something warm. How am I doing on time? Good? Cool. Oh, sick. That's like so much time. That's all the time in the world. So this is the poem that got my publisher interested in making this book in the first place. So this is, it takes its title from a shit post I saw on Reddit. This is the collective name for a group of sad trans girls is called a Discord. All the trans girls I know flock to online spaces, like birds of paradise roosting in front of keyboards perched in performance chairs. They change their settings to dark mode, change the colors of their screen names, change their names into sapphic fragments of themselves like shattered urns, names of flowers, inside jokes, plays on words, garish signals from needles stuck from the lighthouses stuck like needles into the oceans of our own isolation and ethernetted by the fraying umbilical cords of our second births, by the braided, waxed, shaved, lasered, and electrolysis hairs of our new puberty. We post selfies. We whoop and heart react. We yearn. We squabble. We shitpost and samizdat. If we ever meet in person, ever grip the rough carpet of miles between us and yank each other closer, we are nervous as prom. As glass animals with the cabinet door open and the children home from school, we kiss and our teeth bump together. If a sound wave moves through a medium, each particle of the medium vibrates at the same frequency. We vibe at the same frequency with each chime, with each heartbreak, with each new sweating senator screaming for us to crawl back into our blood. We stockpile and mutual aid, we advice and we vent, we HRT and DIY, we progress pick and personal message, and each click of the keyboard could be the lock on our front door. Could be shoes we've only seen in pictures clipping across our unclean floors. All the trans girls I know have spider webs, have stakes in every state, have a reason to cry when something happens to any one of us. Okay, smooth. We're on the home stretch. This one's, I just like reading this. I've never read this one out loud, and I've always wanted to. So that's what this is for. I wrote this for a friend of mine. This is Road Trip. I am on my way to you and braking. Off the wagon, careening, all tires popped and screaming, all rims, a festival of sparks, engines smoking like our fathers after 3 drinks. I am a collapsing van, a band with a song they simply must sing in a town 2 miles past my lifespan. I would undo myself. A keening machine to crowd the little town of your chest with ruin, to punk rock and thrash in your dark venue, to hear the startled old ladies of your lungs look at your vibrating heart and gossip. Remember, Doris, when that used to be a church? Okay, we got 2 more. There's always that fun part of every movie where they say the title of the movie. Like, you're going to be somebody, Forrest Gump, or like that really was The Hunt for Red October, or whatever. Like, that's like a big deal. So this is the poem that the title takes its name from. So when you hear it, you can all be like, ooh. This is the Sapphic Prometheus. The gods' mistake was saying forever and thinking they wouldn't have time to fall for each other. that a Titan and an eagle couldn't find more in common than pain and a full belly if they had forever to figure it out. On a long enough timeline, a liver is as good as a promise. Claws kiss as deeply as a tongue, and the right kind of pain is calligraphy. They were made for each other. Their little hurts and epistles, finding hope in hunger and the will of the gods, the Titans, stitched over skin, a wax seal on a red love letter, dear eagle. Tear the mailbox of my torso open each day. Find purpled and wine-drunk, ripe and sweetly bleeding this thing again, this everyday gift, this love letter I made just for you. The eagle eats, learns the nuances of flavor, tastes the difference between meat that is taken and meat that is given, and learns to push past the liver, past the pink waterfalls of flesh, and soft as a kiss, hushed as a whisper, closes its beak around the Titan's heart. Flying away, the bird will hope that its feast will grow back. Watching the bird, the Titan knows that what was eaten was given, and what was given will have to be held.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Last one, and then we're out of here. Thank you all for hanging out with me. This has been great. There's a phenomenon in the trans community where trans people will only date other trans people, and it's called being T for T. This is T for T for T for T for T for T forever. It's 275 AD, and Alexandria holds its burning library like a bad taste in its mouth, drilling cinders of scrolls, stories, maps, and mysteries into the night sky in fat, curling ribbons. It's right now. And I know more about HRT than my doctor. Whenever I have a question, she usually shrugs and tells me to ask around. Ask my friends, see what people are saying, listen to my body. There's no manual, no textbook. We do not write for ourselves. This is what it means to be T for T. To choose us over who we might have been, to hold ourselves closest, to hold hands with hands that hold us up. If you listen close to my falling breast, you can hear Alexandria. We are all of us bodies of burning libraries, smuggling books with our every breath, from the guitar girl at the anarchist book fair, to the man dancing out of his top surgery, to the girls with one more year on hormones than me who have so many helpful tips. We all learn by word of mouth, by word of bone and blood and fat distribution. T for T is a promise. It is a flickering bucket of clear water. It is a firefighter outside the library. It is a manicured fist full of scrolls screaming, nothing, lover, will die with you. I will carry your truths to the next town. I will upload your zine to the ether. I will build you a Casa Susana with enough acres to hold the whole of who you were when you're gone. The difference between a museum and a library is the number of still living things you can learn from. Borrow this. Give it back. Beg for the last someone to find it. We are alive and we are on fire. We hope when we kiss that we can't taste the smoke. The next person to touch me will know my anthology of soot and ash like an acknowledgement section. They will know that none of us can do this alone. Alexandria burned and took everything with it. Consider this your alarm. Call it the first whiff of smoke. I wrote this for us. For us, for us, for us, and for us, so that something about us will be fireproof. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yay, Billy. Thank you so much, Billy. Thank you, Karen G.
Thank you, ER. Thank you, Charis. Thank you, everyone, for coming out tonight. Please purchase the book. And we'll see you in August, or we'll see you around.
Two things real quick. You can support the work of Charis Circle with your cash money. If you would like to make a donation, our love basket is right over here. You can throw $1 or $2 in the basket, or you can round up on your purchase of Billy's book if you want to pay with a card, because I know maybe no one carries cash anymore. So you can do that, or you can come see me. The suggested donation tonight is $5, but whatever you can do. And if you can't do it tonight, that's okay. We really appreciate you being here. Again, Billy's book is up front. We're going to give her a Sharpie to sign it. hang out, make friends, come back next month. We really appreciate you.
Two things to plug. Java speaks every Sunday night virtually. And then we're having their Outrageous Voices Fall Writers Retreat, which will be Wednesday, October 16th to Sunday, October 20th. And it is an inclusive writers retreat.